If you're a man over 50, I want you to pause for just a moment. Take a breath, clear the noise, and really listen. Because what I'm about to share isn't about scare tactics or selling quick fixes. It's about truth. If your erections are grown weaker, less reliable, or seem to have quietly vanished over time, you might be thinking, well, that's just age. But I'm here to tell you, it's not just about age. And it's definitely not something you have to accept. As a men's health doctor who's walked this road with thousands of patients in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, I've seen a quiet pattern emerge. Good men, strong men, losing their vitality, not because of disease, but because of small daily habits they never thought twice about. Habits that feel normal, even healthy, but beneath the surface, they're quietly working against your performance. And here's the kicker. These habits usually happen in the first 30 minutes of your day, the time when your body is supposed to reboot, repair, and get ready for intimacy, energy, and life. So if you're ready to understand why your body may be shutting down where it once came alive, and more importantly, how to turn that tide, I want you to stick with me. We're going to walk through 7 silent morning habits that could be choking your blood flow, draining your hormones, and stealing your confidence without you even realizing it. Let's get into it, because knowing the truth is the first step to taking back your strength. Habit number 1, skipping water first thing. The morning mistake that silently dries up your vitality. Let me ask you this. What's the first thing you do when you wake up? Most men I've seen, retired teachers, former athletes, devoted grandfathers, start their day with routine. Maybe they check their phone, turn on the news, or head straight for a hot cup of coffee. But there's one thing they skip, and it's quietly sabotaging their circulation, energy, and, yes, even their erections. They forget to drink water. Now, I know it sounds simple, maybe even too simple, but after 6 to 8 hours of sleep, your body is dehydrated. Every organ is thirsty, your blood is thicker, and your heart has to work harder to push that sluggish flow through your veins. And the smallest, most delicate blood vessels, the ones that supply blood to the penis, are the first to suffer when circulation slows. I once had a patient in his early 70s, avid walker, still sharp as a tack, tell me he felt off every morning, foggy, sluggish, and not himself in the bedroom. The solution wasn't some prescription. It was a single glass of room temperature water first thing every morning. Not cold, not after breakfast, first thing. Within 2 weeks, he said, "Doc, I feel like I'm starting the engine again." Why does it work? Because hydration helps your body wake up the right systems: testosterone production, nitric oxide release, and healthy blood pressure, all essential to strong and responsive performance. But skip that water and you're sending the opposite signal. Let's just survive today. And trust me, your body listens. So tomorrow morning, before you do anything else, before the coffee, the headlines, the to-do list, give your body what it's asking for: a glass of water. It's the most natural, affordable, and immediate way to tell your system it's time to show up. And once you've done that, be careful with the next thing you reach for, because while coffee can feel like a wake-up call, if you take it on an empty stomach, it might be pulling the plug on your performance without warning. Let's talk about that. Habit number 2. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach. The morning kick that quietly kicks back. Let me be honest, this one used to be my morning ritual too. Wake up,
pour a strong cup of coffee and take that first sip like it was sacred medicine. It felt like clarity, energy, control. But here's what I learned, and what I now teach every man over 50 who walks into my clinic. Coffee on an empty stomach doesn't give you real energy. It gives you stress. When you drink caffeine before eating anything, your body goes into alarm mode. Your adrenal glands release cortisol and adrenaline, the same hormones used in emergencies. Your heart rate increases. Your blood vessels tighten up. Your blood pressure rises. It may feel like a jolt to life, but inside, your system is on red alert. Now here's where it gets personal. Erections are not created in chaos. They depend on relaxation, on smooth blood flow, on hormonal balance. That coffee spike, it works against everything your body needs to perform intimately. I had a patient, Alan, 63, retired firefighter, tough as nails. He told me, "Doc, I feel like I've still got the spark in me, but it just won't light." Turned out he was having 2 strong coffees on an empty stomach before breakfast. We made one change: water first, then a light breakfast, then coffee. 2 weeks later, he smiled and said, "I didn't think something so small could make that much difference." But it did. So no, I'm not telling you to give up coffee. I'm telling you to respect the timing. Give your body nourishment first: a boiled egg, half a banana, some oatmeal. Then have your coffee. You'll notice calmer mornings, steadier energy, and more responsiveness when it matters. Because in your 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond, we're not just trying to wake up. We're trying to stay alive in every sense that counts.
Habit number 3, holding your urine in the morning. The invisible pressure that kills performance below the belt. Now, this one often gets a laugh at first, until I explain the science. I can't tell you how many men in their 60s and 70s tell me they wait to urinate in the morning. Maybe they want to sip their coffee first. Maybe they don't want to rush to the bathroom right away. It seems harmless, right? Wrong. When you hold your bladder after waking up, your body does something subtle but serious. It builds pressure, internal pelvic pressure, against the nerves and blood vessels that surround your prostate, pelvic floor, and yes, your sexual organs. I had a patient, Leonard, 68. He told me, "Doc, my flow's slow in the morning. Feels like I'm holding tension all the way down." And guess what? He was, literally. He'd wake up and read the paper before going to the bathroom, holding it for 30 to 40 minutes. Over time, that daily pressure irritated his pelvic nerves and signaled stress to his system, raising cortisol, tightening blood vessels, and choking the exact pathways needed for erection and relaxation. Once he started emptying his bladder first thing, before checking his phone or sipping coffee, he reported better flow, less urgency at night, and yes, stronger, more reliable morning performance. Think of it this way. Your body's like an engine. Would you rev a car with the parking brake on? Of course not. But that's what you do to your sexual function when you ignore your bladder's call in the morning. So tomorrow, when you wake up, don't delay. Stand up, walk straight to the bathroom, and release. You're not just emptying your bladder, you're relieving the pressure that's been quietly holding your body hostage for years. Habit number 4. Sitting too long after waking. The soft chair that slowly shuts down your circulation. I know this one might sound harmless at first. You wake up, you sit in your favorite chair, maybe open the paper or scroll a bit on your phone. It feels peaceful, gentle, like you're easing into the day. But here's what most men don't realize. Your chair could be part of the reason your erections are weakening. You see, when you stay seated too long,
Especially on a soft, cushioned surface, you're putting direct pressure on the perineum, the area between the anus and the base of the penis. That's where some of the most essential nerves and blood vessels for sexual function live. I had a patient, Leonard, 68. He told me, "Doc, I like to sit in my old recliner for an hour each morning, just me and the quiet." But that quiet was silently compressing the very system he was hoping to restore. Too much sitting after waking restricts blood flow, especially to the pelvic region. The result? Less sensitivity, weaker erections, and sluggish performance, even if your heart and hormones are in good shape. What turned things around for Joe? Just one small shift. He started standing and moving within 10 minutes of waking. A walk around the house, a few light stretches, even standing at the sink to wash his face before sitting down. Within 2 weeks, he felt lighter. After a month, he told me, "Doc, things are waking up again." Because here's the truth. Your body wasn't designed to wake up and stay still. It was designed to wake up and move. So tomorrow morning, before sinking into your favorite chair, give your body a reason to circulate. Get vertical. Breathe. Take a few steps. You don't need a gym. You need gravity, blood flow, and motion.
Habit number 4, sitting too long after waking. The soft chair that slowly shuts down your circulation. I know this one might sound harmless at first. You wake up, you sit in your favorite chair, maybe open the paper or scroll a bit on your phone. It feels peaceful, gentle, like you're easing into the day. But here's what most men don't realize. Your chair could be part of the reason your erections are weakening. You see, when you stay seated too long, especially on a soft, cushioned surface, you're putting direct pressure on the perineum, the area between the anus and the base of the penis. That's where some of the most essential nerves and blood vessels for sexual function live. One of my patients, Joe, 71, widowed, a quiet man who loved his routines, once told me, "Doc, I like to sit in my old recliner for an hour each morning, just me and the quiet." But that quiet was silently compressing the very system he was hoping to restore. Too much sitting after waking restricts blood flow, especially to the pelvic region. The result? Less sensitivity, weaker erections, and sluggish performance, even if your heart and hormones are in good shape. What turned things around for Joe? Just one small shift. He started standing and moving within 10 minutes of waking. A walk around the house, a few light stretches, even standing at the sink to wash his face before sitting down. Within 2 weeks, he felt lighter. After a month, he told me, "Doc, things are waking up again." Because here's the truth. Your body wasn't designed to wake up and stay still. It was designed to wake up and move. So tomorrow morning, before sinking into your favorite chair, give your body a reason to circulate. Get vertical. Breathe. Take a few steps. You don't need a gym. You need gravity, blood flow, and motion.
Habit number 5, rushing without breathing. The silent oxygen shortage that starves your vital systems. This one's so common and so subtle that most men never notice it. I'm talking about breath. Not the shallow autopilot kind you do all day. I'm talking about conscious, full-body, restorative breathing. And if you're waking up and going straight into go mode, checking emails, thinking about your to-do list, stressing about your body, you're skipping the very act that fuels every system tied to performance. Let me tell you about Arthur, 66, retired postal worker. He told me, "Doc, I don't know what's wrong with me. My head's spinning in the morning, my body feels tight. I don't feel like myself." I said, "When was the last time you took a deep breath in the morning?" He paused, looked down, then laughed softly. "I don't think I ever have." That's more common than you think. Most men wake up breathing just enough to survive, but not enough to thrive. And that's a big deal, because oxygen is what powers hormone production, circulates blood, and calms the nervous system. Without enough of it, blood vessels constrict, testosterone stays low, erections weaken, not from dysfunction, but from deprivation. What did Arthur do? Something beautifully simple. Each morning, before getting out of bed, he took 5 slow, deep breaths. In through the nose, hold for 2 seconds, out through the mouth, slowly. Within days, he told me, it's like my whole body exhaled. I feel more grounded, more alive. And that calm you create with breath is not spiritual fluff, it's biology. When you breathe deeply, your body switches from stress mode, sympathetic, to recovery mode, parasympathetic. That's when blood flows, testosterone rises, and the body says, okay, let's go. So tomorrow morning, before you scroll, sip, or stress, just breathe. A few intentional breaths could be the very thing your body has been quietly begging for.
Habit number 6, negative self-talk. The silent script that tells your body to give up. Let me tell you something most doctors won't. The way you speak to yourself each morning can shape your biology. Yes, really. Your brain listens to the words you whisper inside, whether they're hopeful or hopeless. And when you wake up and silently say things like, I'm too old for this, it's probably gone for good, my wife understands, it's not a big deal, your body hears that as a command. I once had a patient, George, 74, smart, proud, still walked his dog every morning. He sat across from me one day and said, Doc, I think those days are just behind me. My wife says it's okay, but I know she misses that part of us. That kind of quiet surrender, it doesn't just hurt the heart, it shuts down the body. When your mind gives up, your hormones follow. Testosterone levels drop, dopamine fades, blood vessels constrict, and the whole system that once fired with confidence goes quiet, not from age, but from instruction. But the opposite is also true. I've seen men in their 70s look in the mirror and say, I'm still alive, I still matter, my body can still grow, still change, still respond. And guess what? It does. Because self-talk isn't just a pep talk, it's a physiological trigger. Your mind and body are in constant communication. So if you wake up every morning feeding yourself doubt, don't be surprised if your body stops showing up. Tomorrow, say something different. Say, I'm not finished. I'm still capable. My body can come back. Because it can, and it wants to. It's just waiting for permission.
Habit number 7, skipping touch or stimulation. Use it or lose it, the forgotten language of the body. Now, let's talk about something personal. Something most men over 60 stop doing and don't even realize the cost. I'm talking about touch, stimulation, connection, not just sex. I mean the act of staying in tune with your body, sending it the message that intimacy still matters, even if it looks different than it did at 25. You see, many older men, especially those who live alone or who feel distant from their partner, go days, weeks, even months without any kind of intimate touch, not with a partner, not even with themselves. I once had a patient, Howard, 69, quiet, thoughtful. He told me gently, Doc, I just figured that part of life was over. Didn't want to push it, didn't want to be disappointed again. But what Howard and many like him don't know is this. The body works on a principle. If you don't use it, you lose it. blood vessels shrink, nerve endings become less responsive, hormone signals weaken, and eventually even desire itself starts to fade, not from lack of interest, but from lack of practice. Erections aren't just about arousal. They're about circulation, nerve signaling, and hormonal feedback. And without regular, respectful stimulation, whether from touch, affection, or connection, your system goes dormant. Howard made a brave choice. He started setting aside a few minutes a couple times a week, not for performance, not for pressure, just for presence, to reconnect with his body, to remind it that intimacy still belonged. A month later, he smiled and told me, "Doc, I feel more alive, more present, not just down there, but here in me." So if you've been avoiding touch out of fear, shame, or disappointment, I want to gently say your body hadn't given up on you. It's just waiting for a sign. Show it that the story isn't over.
Conclusion. You haven't lost your ability. You've just lost connection to the right habits. If you've made it this far, let me say this clearly. You still care. And that, my friend, means there's still so much hope. What we've uncovered together today isn't theory. It's not a sales pitch or a scare tactic. It's the reality I've witnessed over and over in real men. Men in their 50s, 60s, 70s. Men who once felt strong, confident, fully alive, and now wake up wondering where it all went. But here's what I need you to hear. It didn't go away. It was quietly pushed out by the small, unintentional choices made in the first 30 minutes of your day. Let's quickly recap. Skipping water thickens your blood and slows your circulation. Coffee on an empty stomach floods your body with stress hormones. Holding your urine builds pressure in all the wrong places. Sitting too long compresses vital blood vessels and nerves. Rushing without breathing deprives your body of oxygen and calm. Negative self-talk teaches your body to give up before it even tries. Avoiding touch or stimulation tells your system that intimacy no longer matters, when it absolutely does. But here's the good news. None of these habits are permanent. You don't need pills. You don't need surgery. You just need to begin with awareness, intention, and one small shift. I've watched men in their 60s, 70s, even their 80s reclaim their energy, their confidence, and yes, their erections. Not through miracle cures, but through treating their mornings with purpose. Your morning isn't just another part of the day. It's your body's command center, where blood flow, hormones, mood, and momentum are set in motion. So tomorrow, don't try to fix everything. Just choose one habit to change. Start with water, or breath, or one gentle word of belief when you look in the mirror. Because aging doesn't mean disappearing. It means growing wiser, becoming more deliberate, and living with greater depth. Your best days, they're not in the past. They're waiting for you just beyond your next morning.